is $69.95. We're gonna do 5 flexible payments. I have red, we have black. We'll take you through the entire presentation as fast as we can before it goes. I just wanna stress, we have done $69.95 before on Elite pressure cookers, but it's always been the 2 quart or the 4 quart. This is the 8 quart. This isn't the teeny tiny one, it is the full size, if you will. We're expecting a huge reaction to this. I was over the moon when I saw it. I couldn't believe they saved it for us this evening. It is a 4.5, 5-star universally loved product. Everybody's talking about that one pot. Everybody's talking about pressure cooking. Everybody's talking about faster cooking, better cooking, tastier cooking, healthier cooking, and a pressure cooker does it. This is all automatic. It will do it all for you. Just before I forget, we are also offering the very famous, this is the Delicious Meals Made Easy in the pressure cooker. They put this, I don't know why, on clearance. We sell this every time that we're on air with it. Normally $25, we're gonna do it for $14.95. So ask about that. Beautifully done, nicely laid out, and gorgeous color images. Red is currently the best seller, followed by the black. Folks are already jumping on it, and that's, I wanna jump on that.
I know, seriously. These are some serious ribs. You would never be able to do these ribs in a standard 6 quart or 4 quart pressure cooker, which most 6 quart pressure cookers are about $100.
Yes,
and they're
of course.
6 quarts. We're talking in 5, 6, almost 7 years that I've been presenting pressure cookers here at HSN, and I own about 8 pressure cookers. I really do. I use them all.
The pressure cooker queen.
I own them all. I use them all. I've never in my life sold an 8 quart at this price, so it's crazy.
Kelly, would you mind me asking you that one more time, because our viewers are used to seeing you with our pressure cookers. Yes. You're on with all of them. Yes. Just repeat what you said. Have you ever seen something like this?
Not for an 8 quart at this price, ever. You said the 4 quart, the 2 quart I think we launched at this price. And I love my 2 quart. This is our big sized, our 8 quart. You can tell a full rack of beef ribs. These are not the tiny little pork ribs. These are like the dinosaur bones. But look at what happens. The bone literally just peels away. So your dog's gonna be really upset with you. That's first of all, right? Because there's gonna be no meat left on the bone. But you can see what pressure cooking does to food. Maybe this is your first purchase, and man, if it is, you are getting a heck of a deal. But maybe this is your first purchase of a pressure cooker, and you're just sort of wondering, all right, I'm gonna jump in. What is all the rage of pressure cooking? There's a lot of different reasons, but my top 3 are as follows. Tell me. It's faster. Faster. 65 to 75% faster, sort of depending on what's inside. So 60, I mean, let's call it 60%. That's still amazing. Yeah. All right, number 2, it's healthier, and we'll talk a little bit more about that during the presentation. But number 3, and most importantly, the food tastes better than any other way of cooking. It tastes better than stovetop cooking. It tastes better than oven cooking. And the reason is when you cook under pressure, none of the nutrition and none of the flavor can leave. It essentially gets pressurized back into the food itself. That's why we call it a pressure cooker. So everything that comes out of the pressure cooker tastes like it's been cooked in Technicolor. And I steal that from Suzanne Runyon. She said one day, it's like every bite bursts with more nutrition and more flavor than any other way of cooking, right? Now, we did our ribs, and now we're gonna do our mac and cheese, because it's summer. Nothing says summer like ribs and mac and cheese.
Producer Darryl, would you please guide me on this? How many left in the red versus the black now? We are very, okay, if in the red, if you want the red, I have fewer than 700. If you want the black, I have fewer than 800. And we are selling at this moment about 10 or 20 every second. So they are flying off the shelves. If you've wanted a new pressure cooker, thank you, my love. I love you very much.
I learned that's the one way I can get a word in, was if you hand mac and cheese.
Well, you know why?
No, I don't need to. You got this.
Because I'm not great with a lot of kitchen things, because I'm not the best chef in the kitchen. But when we brought a pressure cooker home, Chelsea and I use ours religiously week in, week out. Chelsea makes the meanest brisket on God's green earth.
Oh, that's true. I've heard about Chelsea's brisket. I've never had it.
It's famous. It's world famous now. In my eyes, anyway. This is a kitchen appliance that is going to bring so much happiness and joy. The deal today in the decade I've been at HSN is forget today's specials. We've never touched $69 for an 8 quart. This is the full size, not the mini one. This is the full size one. Okay, 15 minutes left. The red is outselling the black. I'm now going to eat. Sorry, over to you.
All right, no, you're fine. I'm just joking with you. All right, well, if this is your first pressure cooker, maybe you're new to pressure cooking, let me just show you how simple it can be. Pressure cooking can be as simple or as difficult as you'd like to make it in terms of how sophisticated you make your food. So these are frozen chicken breasts. In fact, they're frozen together. There we go. Rock solid. You can actually take from frozen and you can cook it without thawing it in advance. Now, that's unheard of, right? Normally, we have to thaw the food in advance. Right. And if you forget to thaw the food, you're always calling for the pizza. Right. And you'll decide to do that protein the next day, right? And you've then eaten a pizza and you feel all guilty. All right, you always need a liquid, so it can be fun things from like a jar of salsa, your favorite can of soup. It can be broth. It can be marinara sauce. Any liquid will do. So we've chosen salsa because we're gonna do it like a spicy, you know, chicken. And then we've just added some vegetables. That's just a little onion, pepper, tomato. You throw it all in. Look, I'm not mixing, I'm not measuring, I'm not doing anything. You can literally sort of just dump everything into a pot and, you know, walk away. So I'm gonna go ahead and place the lid on here. And what Elite does better than anybody else in the business is they make things simple for us. So right down front, there's actually a little sign that says open. You can see it's printed, and then you just slide it to closed. So if you're ever wondering, well, is it under pressure? Is the lid closed properly? You don't ever have to worry about that with the Elite. So you slide it from open to closed, and it actually beeps. Listen to that beep. Then you know it's, you know, you have that audible knowledge that it's beeping for you. 16 presets built in. So whether you're doing chicken, chicken's built in. If you're doing rice, rice is built in. We've got a beef and pork section, a poultry menu item, a rice, fish, soup, stew, potatoes. I mean, 12 minutes to potatoes, pasta's built in, beans, dessert, vegetables. We even have stay warm, which means it'll keep your food warm. We have a delay timer, which you can set for the next day. I'm gonna go ahead and go here, and it will just sort of circle around, and I'm going to choose poultry. So where are we at? All right, and then you can hit start, and it will start to come to pressure, and you can actually see that little message there means it's coming to pressure. Once it's at pressure, it starts counting backwards, and then it switches to keep warm automatically for you, so you can never overcook your food. While we're here, there's also a canning button. You can slow cook in this. That's really special. So you can actually get rid of your slow cooker and use that slow cook button. And then you can steam, simmer, and saute, and we'll talk a little bit more about those. But those are the 16 presets. Now, if you have a specific pressure cooker recipe where you know something takes 14 minutes, you can set it for 14 minutes too. You don't always have to select a preset. So it takes those cumbersome jobs of, oops, I forgot to thaw the protein, or oh gosh, do I have to hurry up and microwave them to thaw them? And now you can cook from frozen. So the meal that I just put inside there is right here. You can see my chicken breast from frozen, 20 minutes. Gorgeous. And it's infused with salsa. There's my veg. Every bite of this chicken is gonna be more moist and juice and tender than the last because there's nowhere for the moisture to escape to. So never again will you ever have a dry chicken breast.
If you are looking for recipes and ideas, because it's on clearance, I would guide you towards this. It's the Delicious Meals Made Easy cookbook for pressure cookers, and I just want to show you inside. You'll see some wonderful color pictures, easily laid out recipes as well. Normally $25. It's on clearance today for $14.95, and you've got pages and pages of really great suggestions and inspiration. So ask about that. Fewer than 300 to go around. You can even see through the TV screen how moist. How moist.
Look at the interior of that chicken breast. It's dripping with moisture. And guess what moisture is in terms of a chicken breast? It's flavor, right? And it's nutrition. So you're not leaching out the health of the food. And that's why I said we would talk a little bit more about it being healthier, because when you steam something or you cook something on a stovetop or say in an oven and you have evaporation, that's your food not only drying out, but it's the nutrition leaving, right? So you're actually cooking the nutrition out of your food unless you pressure cook it. You're trapping the nutrition into the food itself so that it's healthier and it tastes better.
It's a win-win because it's faster, it's easier, it's less mess, it's less fuss, and it tastes better. I always have a blast with these clearance shows. It's some of my favorite times of the year because, you know, these aren't hard products to present. These are the easiest. These are the best sellers. And whenever you do a best-selling product on a clearance price, I mean, it's just a win-win all around. In the days of clearance that we've done this year, I don't think anybody would argue with me that this is probably the biggest offer of all of them. And I'll tell you why. Pressure cookers sell day in and day out at the regular prices because they're so in demand. The idea of one pot, this instant satisfaction with a great, great appliance. We do this model, this traditional size, typically for 109.
It's a good deal when it's 90. When it's 90, it's like a great deal.
I don't know if you forgot this, Kelly, but when we launched Monday Night Show 4 years ago, on the second ever show, we did this model, and we did it at $99, and it became the fastest selling item ever. We're at $69 with 5 flex pay. Now, the only time we've ever been able to do $69 is when we do the itty bitty ones, the small ones, like kind of like the personal pressure cookers, not the full size.
Yeah.
With everybody on the phone, about 400 or 500 in each before they're sold out.
All right, little things about Elite Bistro is what I love. So this is a little condensation collection cup. It just sets us apart from other pressure cookers in terms of making it convenient for you. Other pressure cookers, you're gonna get some dripping around the countertop, and you have to wipe it up, and it's just sort of a pain in the neck. All of the condensation from our pressure cooker, and all pressure cookers have a little, drips right into the little cup, and all you have to do is remove the cup and dump it into your sink and place the cup back. So to me, that's really important. And then the other thing is, and this is a big deal, is our pressure cooking ring is so different.
Explain this.
So all pressure cookers have this ring. It's what creates the pressure, right? So nothing can release. But most of them are affixed to the lid, right? So you can't hardly get it out. They start to develop odors. They might get some food stuck around there. They're very easy to get dirty and very difficult to clean. Elite Bistro said, okay, let's fix that problem. So they created this pressure cooking ring. So we'll never ask you to purchase a new ring. See, other brands sell additional rings because, you know, yours gets dirty.
You don't need
Ours comes right back off and it's easy to clean. So it's those little things. And then this I really like, our lid rest on both sides. So whether you're righty or a lefty, you can set the lid to either side.
So where Chelsea, my wife, goes to have her hair done, the lady in there was getting married. She just got married. And on her registry, she'd put a pressure cooker. And Chelsea said to me, we'll get her the pressure cooker. And I said, well, which one does she want? And I looked on the registry.
This one.
On my life, may God strike me down, it was an 8-quart pressure cooker for $169.
Oh, wow.
I said, well, what we do, we're getting one of these.
Did you say, we don't really like her that much?
No, I said, well, that's nuts.
How much do we really like our hairdresser?
I said,
just kidding.
She gets on very well.
Okay, there you go.
I said, we could get one at $99. So that's what we ended up doing at $69. It's just, it beggars belief. We have 7.5 minutes left. The cookbook to go along with it that's also on clearance is now nearly gone. If you're on the phone asking for it, hopefully we can accommodate that order. I think it's going to jumpstart you into really making the most of it. I promise you this. I'm not a big fan of a million different appliances, most of which live in the cupboard in the kitchen we never use. Religiously, since we brought home a pressure cooker, we have used it week in, week out. The other thing, and I gotta say it right now, you don't find digital pressure cookers like this.
No, they're dial. They have a dial. They're a manual dial. It's very true. What I'm showing you right there is simply what we've just done, which is canning and preserving. So a pressure canner, and there's that button right there. Canning and preserving, all you have to do is press the button. Now a pressure canner, just a pressure canner in and of itself, they're about $300. And those of you that have ever done like small batch canning, you know, they're worth it, but they're $300. But this one does it as well. And that's a point of difference with our pressure cooker, is that we built in that button so that you can do those small batch canning and you don't have to get out the big pot and get it to a boil and spend all day messing with canning if you just want to can one jar, right? So now you can do the small batches inside your Elite pressure cooker without even thinking, because there's a button built in.
Right.
If you have something really sophisticated that you're canning, maybe you're canning meats or something like that, the cookbook that comes with it, not this one, but the one that comes with it included, has all the canning times.
Yes, and that's just the little guide that you get. Elite are very good about that, so you'll get some of the basics there. You'll find that you'll want to take it to the next level, and that's why I love, Kelly, when you do this, because you take us, it's like a buffet out here.
And then we all get to go home with dinner. That's what I love.
Guys, we are now limited quantity. If you only get one item today, I truly hope it's this. Maybe you are brand new to the world of pressure cooking. Try it for 30 days, return it and get a refund if you don't fall head over heels in love with the flavor, the taste, the ease of use. Maybe you have an existing pressure cooker that you would like to upgrade. This would make a wonderful treat for yourself. I mean, look at this.
Look at the mussels. Look at the potatoes. Look at the shrimp. I mean, this might be a dinner you would shy away from creating because you thought, well, go to the seafood restaurant. They do it better than than me. I don't want to mess it up. You can't mess it up with Elite Bistro because there's literally a button that says seafood, and then watch this potato. Literally will burst open.
Perfection.
It's very hot. But look what you also get with this pressure cooker. This is a freebie. Typically, this is where Adam would be saying, you know, go to hsn.com, here's a separate item number, purchase the accessories
blah,
kit.
blah, blah,
yes.
yeah.
But this is coming included, this glass lid. That's important for a couple of reasons. First of all, that's what you're gonna use when you're using the steaming function, so you can steam in this. But then you can actually take the 8-quart stock pot with the lid to the table and serve it, right? Because it has that glass lid. So that's really important. The other thing you're gonna use it for is when you're slow cooking. So when you're slow cooking, or when you're pressure cooking, this is your lid. Obviously, this is your pressure cook lid.
Locks
when
it
you're
in.
slow, it locks it in, it keeps the pressure in. When you're slow cooking, there's a button right down front that says slow cook. There's a low and a high setting. You want to use this glass lid, right? There's that slow cook button. Use that glass lid. So maybe you own a slow cooker that's like, my mom had one from like 1975. She's like, it still works. I said, donate it then.
Scary.
Yeah, you don't need a slow cooker from, maybe that's you, maybe yours is on the fritz. You now own a pressure cooker that is also your slow cooker. But I will warn you.
Warn me.
You probably aren't going to slow cook very often. Because there's a word in there.
Why would you?
Yeah,
Why
there's a word
you?
in the slow cook process.
The clue's in the name.
Slow. This gives you the same results. That beautiful fall apart, fall off the bone, tender, moist, juicy, you know, proteins, whether it's your beef brisket, whether it's your corned beef, your chicken breast, but it gives it to you fast.
You did do a brisket, didn't you?
It's right there in that red one.
Oh, thank God.
Should we skip the lasagna?
I was getting hot sweats. I was worried there was no brisket.
4 minutes. No,
we're
good.
okay.
We have 4 minutes. We will
favorite.
get to the brisket. But this is actually one of my favorites. We did a white lasagna, vegetable lasagna. It could be any kind of lasagna. But this one, to me, blows my mind because lasagna typically takes about 60, 75 minutes in an oven. Heats up your whole kitchen. Nobody is making lasagna in the summer. I mean, nobody's making lasagna in the summer unless you're pressure cooking it. Ask me how long this took me.
How long did that take you, Kelly?
Thank you for asking. 7 minutes. 7 minutes to look at how tall and
7 minutes?
7-minute lasagna.
That's fast food.
It's fast food, but it's not the fast food, you know, price. It's not the fast food, you know, calories. So you're getting a home-cooked lasagna in 7 minutes. You layer in your noodles just like you would a traditional lasagna casserole, and then you leave it, you know, to rest like you would. Look at how beautiful that is.
Gorgeous.
And in the book here, this one, there's a lasagna recipe. Yeah. So.
If you go for this one, if this is sold out when you ask for it, we will be restocking this. I don't quite know why it was on clearance because it's just normally a consistent seller on HSN, but we will be restocking this. It's called Delicious Meals Made Easy. If you do order it with the pressure cooker, it's down from $25 to $14.95. So a really great buy, and it's loaded with wonderful, wonderful things. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you got it. Okay.
Okay, here's the brisket.
My favorite.
Is this, okay, so how does Chelsea do hers? Do you know? Even
plain and
just
simple.
Eat it? Oh, is it plain and simple? Okay, so there you go. But this could be any recipe, whether it's grandma's recipe, whether you have your own special recipe, whether you buy the book and you use our recipe. We've got our root vegetables as well. So we have our celery, our peas, our potatoes, our carrots, all of that plus our gravy in the bottom. But literally, it's going to peel apart. I mean, you can buy, and brisket's not an expensive cut of meat.
No, not at all.
You can buy, you know, the least expensive cuts of meat and tenderize them and make them taste like they have been slow cooking all day long. And this was under an hour.
I say to Chelsea, and honestly, I don't go to a restaurant and enjoy the food as much as I enjoy the brisket.
Wow. How often does she make it for you?
All the time.
Oh, does she?
I'm addicted to it, Kelly. Why do you think
once
I'm wearing,
a week, once a month?
Why do you think
really
I'm wearing a lot of black? It's because I love my brisket.
No, that's great for you. I mean, that's the high protein.
There's the fork.
Yeah, right here, my friend.
Thank you.
We would not leave you without a fork.
We only have 2 minutes left. Sorry, Darryl, is red still going to be the first to sell out? It's going to be black now. Black's going to be the first to go. So last chance saloon, if you're looking for the black, I'm excited for you to try it. I think you'll fall in love with it like I have, like we have. And just an FYI, in terms of HSN and all of our appliances, the pressure cooker is consistently our #1 for nearly 6 or 7 years now. The reason why this was such a big deal is because this is the price that we normally do. The 2-quart personal size or the 4-quart, it's double that. This is the full size 8-quart at our lowest price ever. To put it in perspective, it is lower than any today's special we've ever done on a pressure cooker. Now that really says something.
It's a true story. I've been doing pressure cookers here at HSN for at least 5 years, maybe 6, and I've never sold an 8-quart at this price. So if I didn't already own like 3 of these, I'd be on the phones going, it's such a good deal. Now, there's so many dessert recipes in the book that's Adam's holding. So if you really love your sweets, I want you to pick up that book.
Yes.
I'm missing a pair of tongs somewhere. All right, grab my tongs. But this is just a simple cheesecake recipe. And what I love is that we've actually done it in these little glass jars, these little glass carafes. So anything that would go in a traditional oven can go inside a pressure cooker. And I get that question a lot. You know, what can I put inside my pressure cooker? Well, really anything that's safe for an oven can go inside a pressure cooker, whether it's a glass carafe, maybe it's a springform pan, right? Whatever you have, the little, obviously the canning jars. But look at the little miniature cheesecakes. They're actually not that miniature. They're easily 2 servings for cheesecake. But we did those in the glass jars, and then a little whipped cream, maybe some chocolate chips or some caramel. However you want to dress it, you can do the most beautiful desserts inside a pressure cooker. And most people overlook the dessert thing with pressure cookers, but even just baking a cake, it's more moist, it's more juicy, it's like a spongy cake. Yep.
I've got nothing.